It's the new Gershwin musical comedy, Crazy for You. The best musical from Broadway with the Tony Awards to prove it. Call now for tickets. Our operators are standing by.
Drop everything. We did. Our lowest sale prices guaranteed start Monday at 8 a.m. at Carson's.
I know. Say we didn't get the package.
Martha!
Tom, did you get our package?
Gee, it never got here.
Really?
Introducing tracking software from Federal Express.
It was delivered to your place at 9:22 a.m.
Ah! Probably stuck in the mailroom.
No, it was signed for by your partner, Brian.
Now you can track packages right from your computer on your desk.
Brian, are you there?
Oh, that!
2 of the millions of people we've taught to lose weight at Weight Watchers, eating delicious everyday foods or using our personal cuisine food plan. And if you join now, you can even register free. Save $17. So hurry and call Weight Watchers today.
Lyle's testimony from the Menendez murder trial, a gripping half hour on the next current affair.
Tonight at 11:30 on A Current Affair.
It's all over. The Chicago Bulls over 3 straight NBA championships.
From the highest of the highs to the lowest of the lows.
Naturally, it's tough for anybody to swallow, not just my family, any family that has this type of circumstances to deal with.
A roller coaster year for Michael Jordan takes yet another dramatic turn.
I just feel that I don't have anything else for myself to prove.
Air Jordan, perhaps the greatest basketball player of all time, announces his retirement to a stunned Chicago.
This is Fox News Chicago.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Walter Jacobson.
And I'm Robin Robinson. There comes a time, but does this have to be it? Our top story tonight, the surprise retirement by the king of basketball, Michael Jordan, stepping down after 9 seasons with the Chicago Bulls. Saying he has nothing left to prove, number 23 shows up at the Berto Center in Deerfield this morning to confirm the nasty rumors. With wife Juanita at his side and hungry reporters at his heels, the biggest name in the game makes the most shocking pass of his career. We have team reports tonight, but first we begin with Michael himself, telling in his own words why he's retiring, a decision he says did not involve his heartbreaking loss, the murder of his father.
I'm a very optimistic person. I guess the biggest positive thing that I can take out of my father not being here with me today is that he saw my last basketball game. I think one thing about my father's death is that it can be gone and be taken away from you at any time. When I got to the pinnacle of my career, I achieved practically everything I could from an individual standpoint and from a team standpoint. And it really made it easy to walk away while you was on top. And yeah, very few people do that. I never wanted to leave the game when my skills started to diminish. Because once that starts to happen, I feel the foot in my back. You know, people pushing me out of the game, saying that I don't have the skills that I used to have. As I talked to my teammates, and I told them, this day is going to come for everybody. Enjoy it while you have it, because it's very limited, and it is a treasure. And even with Shaquille and these other stars coming into the league, you'll be a star for a while. You may get tired of it. You may want to step back. It's always your choice. When you do it, don't have reservations. Be happy with your decision, like I'm happy with my decision. I won't have any regrets. I won't look back. I will move forward, and certainly I think I will succeed wherever I move.
Some of Michael's teammates listened in stunned silence today as he made that announcement. Now there are many of them wondering how the loss of the superstar Michael Jordan will impact on the World Championship team. Bruce Wolf continues our team reports on that. Bruce?
Well, Walter, Jerry Reinsdorf said last year that in a strange way he was looking forward to the day Michael Jordan retired because it would be a challenge to build the Bulls into a winner again. Be careful of what you ask for. You just may get it. It was a full press court Michael Jordan faced this morning when he announced his retirement, but the most interested observers were on the periphery.
And realistically, you know, who knows what our team will be like this year.
We have to find an identity.
learn a way to play without Michael.
Tony Kukoc, just in from Europe, may be thrown into action much quicker than he expected. And Scottie Pippen is going to have to become the team leader if the Bulls have any chance of contending.
And he goes all the way and draws the foul.
He's did everything for this organization and for me as a player to bring me thus far. And I just look forward to carrying it on my own and for the organization being able to go on its own. When a father sends his kids out to college, that kid has to stand up on his own 2 feet. And I'm not saying I was a father of this group, but I took a lot of the pressures and some of the heat. But I know this team is prepared to step up and take what they want.
Johnson gets no, he could not get it off. Knocked away by Grant. It's all over.
The Bulls won 3 straight titles with Michael Jordan. Without him, they won't have to find vacant fingers for championship rings.
I just hope that the fans stay behind us and be supportive because it's going to be a long, tough season for us. It's going to be tough when we're out there on that court and we need something to happen, and we don't have the greatest player who's ever played the game out there before to make something happen.
I'm not going to put on a brave face and think that this year's going to go smoothly. It's the character of our team in many ways has been defined by Michael, and it's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be an interesting year, not a championship one, but interesting. Walter and Robin.
Okay, Bruce, you know, many of Jordan's teammates learned the news the same time we fans did. Word leaked out right after Jordan threw out the first pitch last night at the Sox-Toronto game at Comiskey Park. Jordan had to leave the game early, rushed out past a crush of reporters, but it was too late. Michael's secret was out, and the presses were rolling. Chicagoans saying, say it ain't so. Tonight, nearly 24 hours after the story broke, many fans still cannot believe it's actually happening. Dane Placco is at what you might call the Mecca for Michael Jordan fans, Jordan's restaurant in downtown Chicago. Dane, what is the reaction like there tonight?
Robin, for the fans here, Michael Jordan's tonight, it's finally sinking in. They're finally realizing this is not some sort of bad joke. This is not some sort of nightmare. Michael Jordan is indeed hanging him up. Now, we want to show you the level of respect these fans have for Michael Jordan still by showing you tape earlier today of the fans here as Jordan ended his news conference.
Perhaps never before has an athlete in a city been so closely tied together. And in Michael Jordan's restaurant, fans were emotional as that bond was ripped apart.
We're really depressed. Well, what could you do?
I'm surprised. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see him play this year.
God bless him. I mean, he's brought more to this city than any other person, I think, in the city's history.
Jordan's announcement cast a huge shadow over today's playoff game at Comiskey Park. Some fans, like this man, brought signs to the ballpark to make their point.
Why'd you bring the sign to the ballpark?
Well, I'm going to miss Michael a lot.
Inside, fans mourned a doubleheader loss. White Sox lost the game. The city lost its idol.
I think he has his own life to live, and if this is what he thinks he should do, why, that's what he should do. More power to him.
Talking about Michael Jordan's decision to call it quits today.
The phone lines are burning at Chicago's radio stations. Callers 99-1 bashing the media and supporting their superstar.
Well, I think we should stop analyzing him and just leave him alone. If this is what he wants to do, just let him do it.
As for Sir Michael's take on the fans.
My heart has been here. I can't even think about playing for another team.
Kindness repaid in kind.
It's a sad day for Chicago, but it's a great day for Michael Jordan.
Now, while a lot of the fans gathered here at Jordan's tonight are watching a Major League Baseball game, we can find out rather quickly what's the real story here tonight. What are people talking about?
We're really talking about Michael Jordan retiring.
Michael Jordan? Yeah, can't believe it, huh?
Really can't believe he retired. You know, it's just amazing, you know.
Okay.
Really hard to believe.
That's what they're all saying here tonight, Robin. People still can't believe it more than 24 hours after the fact.
Thanks, Dane. Of course, it is true. Dane Placco reporting live from Jordan's restaurant. We'll still have that.
And Robin, as you know, many of Jordan's fans were his own colleagues, other players in the NBA who respected his huge talent and drive. During his news conference, he made some special reference to his friend and competitor, Charles Barkley.
We've always talked about retiring at the same time, but I think it's a little different scenario between Charles and myself. Being that I've achieved a lot in a lot of my goals, and I think he still has things that he wants to achieve. Sadly, that I couldn't hang around till he do those things because I was standing in his way.
Number one, you want to retire when you're on top, which is both of our goals. And obviously, he's at the peak of his athletic career. Selfishly, yes, I would like for him to come back. But the most important thing, if I'm his friend, you want your friends to be happy.
And there are other players who've left their imprint on the sport. Magic Johnson, for example, retired from the Lakers 2 years ago. Today, he talked about Michael's decision.
It doesn't surprise me. I think that Michael is a guy who probably just wants to be left alone now. You know, I think that he's probably tired of being under the microscope, so to speak.
He's a guy that's definitely going to be missed. He's a guy that you enjoy competing against, that you enjoy playing against. The only happiness that you can find out of any of this is the happiness that Michael Jordan has found in himself.
And Mayor Daley echoes Jerry Reinsdorf, saying that Michael Jordan is the greatest player in the history of basketball. The mayor says he is grateful for many years that Jordan has given the Bulls.
I want to thank Michael Jordan for 9 years of great basketball here, the Chicago Bulls. He did a great athlete, a wonderful fellow. The fans, the people enjoy him, enjoy his family, and this is a personal decision. I wish him well.
Governor Edgar also thanked Jordan for the thrills, pride, and joy that he brought to Chicago and wished him well in his future endeavors. And all the way to the White House, President Clinton issued the following statement from Washington. He says, quote, "We will miss him here and around America in every small town backyard and paved city lot where kids play one-on-one and dream of being like Mike."
Robin, as we've been saying all day, Chicago people seem to be somewhat stunned by Jordan's sudden retirement. That's true especially for the children who idolize him. They have feelings about basketball now without Air Jordan, as our Al Vorders reports from the Chicago Stadium.
Well, Walter, there were rumors before. We had all heard them. But Bulls fans figured Michael would wait until the end of the season to retire so they could say goodbye to him and the old Chicago Stadium at the same time. But now that it's official, Bulls fans we talked to are wishing Michael well in his new life. At Governor Hardin's newsstand on the corner of 79th and Cottage Grove, the papers herald the bad news. But Hardin and his friends think Michael did the right thing.
He's going out in style.
Who do you think is going to be next after Michael?
I know more Michael. That's one bowl on a top shelf in a closet, put it away. I ain't no more Michael. That is Mr. Basketball.
At the playground in Jackson Park, Wizards of the Blacktop are still trying to be like Mike. They think Jordan timed his move just right.
Mike is always going to be the man. Everybody's going to look back at all the highlights, all the spectacular moves, the shots, everything. It's always going to be Mike. It's still going to be Michael. He's still a legend. He's still a legend. You can't take that away from him.
Some of Simeon High School's basketball players have been studying Michael Jordan's moves like their school books. They're shocked because Jordan was more than a superstar. He revolutionized the game.
In a way, I feel they shouldn't have left because, he's a role model to a lot of young kids. And then it's just going to take the fun out of the NBA. Most people probably not going to be excited as they was watching the Chicago Bulls.
It's going to be a bad thing for the Chicago Bulls and for a lot of young people who looked up to Michael Jordan. Because they're not going to have an opportunity to see him perform and create those various feats that he did while he was playing basketball.
I know the kids are going to be disappointed, but hopefully they learn that Michael Jordan was once a basketball player, but now he's a human being. Basketball is great to play it. It's an enjoyment, it's a fun, it's a hobby. But it's a lot to life other than sports.
And even though today fans concede we're calling Michael Jordan the greatest player of all time today, but in years past we said the same thing about Dr. J, Magic, and Bird. Al Vorders reporting from the stadium, Fox News, Chicago.
Okay, Al, we also say don't go anywhere because the news department is coming up with more stories about Michael just a few seconds away.
Next up, we'll take a look at the incredible career of the man known as Air Jordan, all the way back to college.
For Bulls season ticket holders, life without Michael might not be worth the best seats in the house. They've paid thousands of dollars for the tickets. Many of them are pretty hot about Michael's retirement.
I'm Lily at Chacon, live at Michael Jordan's restaurant, just one of the money-making ventures trading in on that magic name.
So you think driving an Oldsmobile 88 is like sitting in your living room? Well, we've got a photo of your living room here. Love the couch. Now take a look at the 88 LSS. Cooler seats, much better sound system. Plus it handles better than your living room. Not to mention many cars. So if you're gonna sit down, at least do it someplace good. It's your money.
The colors are changing. The prices are falling. At Carson's Days, you'll find our lowest sale prices of the season guaranteed. On our biggest selection of the season. Stores open early for 8 big days, October 4th through the 11th. It doesn't get any lower than Carson's Days. We guarantee you've come to the right place.
When I step on the basketball court, I'm out there for a reason, to prove something and to help my teammates achieve. If I step out there for any other reason, it's not me.
Michael Jordan has given Chicago 9 wonderful, beautiful years of basketball, a career full of all the triumphs and glories you could ever imagine. He is not only the Bulls' all-time franchise player, he is the NBA's most important player. Our Joe Zone reflects now on the career of what we call a basketball legend.
Twice named College Player of the Year at the University of North Carolina, Michael Jordan began his Bulls career in 1984, and what a career. In that first season, averaging 28 points a game, Jordan was named Rookie of the Year. In 85 and 86, he was injured and played only 18 games. But after that, the rest of Michael Jordan's career is nothing short of spectacular. He won his first NBA scoring title in the 86-87 season, averaging a career-high 37.5 points a game. He was the NBA scoring champ the next 3 seasons. That's an NBA record for consecutive scoring titles.
And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
Michael Jordan led the Bulls to their first NBA title in 1991, and he was named Most Valuable Player. The following season, the Bulls became the 3rd straight team to win back-to-back NBA titles. Then came the three-peat last season, when the Bulls beat the Phoenix Suns, and Jordan won his 3rd straight NBA Finals Most Valuable Player award. Jordan was just as spectacular as an Olympian. In 1984, before his rookie season in the NBA, he was Coach Bobby Knight's best player. The U.S. team went unbeaten through the basketball tournament in Los Angeles, winning Olympic gold. It was the last time a team of college players managed to win an Olympic gold medal for the U.S. And Jordan was back in '92 when the Olympics allowed professional players into basketball. He, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and the rest made the U.S. Dream Team that easily captured the gold medal at the Barcelona Games. A spectacular career, more than 21,000 points, 6 Most Valuable Player awards, 3 NBA championships, and 2 gold medals. Michael Jordan is going out at the prime of his career, and he'll truly be remembered as the world's most famous athlete and basketball's greatest player ever.
Thanks, Joe. Now, the reaction of others in Michael's home state of North Carolina is much the same as here. Sadness and then support of his decision. At the University of North Carolina, where Michael went to college, all looks quiet, but inside those classrooms, the voices can be heard today loud and clear.
It didn't really surprise me as much because I don't know if it's like some innate feeling or something that I had, but as soon as I heard about his father, I thought that perhaps, this is going to have such a tremendous effect on his career.
I think Michael probably got burned out. I think people asked too much of him. He was on stage all the time, at least 120 games a year, having to perform.
Bill Guthridge, that last man we heard from, was assistant coach at North Carolina when Michael played basketball there.
And from his humble beginnings, Michael Jordan later became the multi-million-dollar man. That's how much money he's now bringing in with endorsements every year. He says those endorsements with companies like Nike will continue.
My contracts have been extended to 10 years, playing basketball and not playing basketball. And that's something that's part of the relationship that we have had with my endorsees. So I expect that to continue, and with the people, with my endorsees being here, I think that shows the support.
With more on Michael the Bunny Man now, let's check in with Lilia Chacon, who is live at Michael's restaurant.
Yes, we're here live at Michael Jordan's restaurant. Probably no one in the history of sports has been able to sell himself as well as Michael Jordan. Nike Town might as well be Mikey Town. And here at Jordan's restaurant, they really don't need to serve up anything but Jordan's magic name. Michael Jordan's role on the basketball court may have come to an abrupt slam dunk, but his career as the most successful pitchman in advertising history still has plenty of bounce.
I think it's going to heighten his advertising potential over the short term. I think he's going to be more interesting to people to see in these commercials.
Money's gotta be the shoes. It's not the shoes, it's not the superb athletics, it's not even his natural empathy with the camera.
Air Jordan and Air Jordan.
What'd you expect? Elmer Fudd?
The Bugs Bunny Nike stuff is just fantastic. That really shows his natural acting ability.
Well, Michael transcends sports. I mean, you look at the smile, the eyes, the charisma.
That's all, folks.
Well, that's my line.
Jordan's charisma has translated into commercial endorsements worth an estimated $30 million a year to him personally. His contracts with brand names like Nike, Gatorade, Hanes, and McDonald's are independent of his playing status.
We made 10-year deals, and no one had any contemplation that he would play 10 years. We disclosed to the companies that he would certainly retire at some point during the term of the agreement. And these companies are people that wanted to have Michael Jordan for as long as he was willing to commit.
Companies are willing to commit to Jordan because in a flaky, fluky world, his name stands for consistency and excellence.
He's visible. He fits our product. He uses our product. So it works great for us. It's a great marriage.
It's been a marriage for love and for money. Gatorade loves the fact that he's an international hero, and that's going to help them sell Gatorade in 17 foreign countries. As for the money, just ask Nike. They say in the past 5 years, Jordan merchandise has averaged $200 million a year. And one note, Walter and Robin, we found out that Michael Jordan is here at the restaurant. His car is parked outside. He's upstairs having a quiet dinner. Reporting live, I'm Lilia Chacon. Robin, Walter.
Okay, Lily, and I don't think business is too bad at that restaurant either.
And I don't think Michael will have to pick up the check either.
Now, some folks who are not taking today's announcement so well are the Bulls' season ticket holders. Some of them, at least a handful of them, paid thousands of dollars for the thrill, mainly of seeing number 23 work his magic on the basketball court. Now, they're at a ticket tip.
Bulls, you pay money to see entertainment, and part of the entertainment is seeing the entire cast. When some of the cast is missing, you feel like you're taken.
Bulls management could not be reached for a comment on those specific complaints.
And would you guess, Michael Jordan is the subject tonight of our Voice Your Choice segment. We've been calling you and your neighbors all day asking whether Jordan should retire, and here's what you've told us. 62% of you say that yes, Michael Jordan should retire. 38% of you say no, Michael ought not retire. That's tonight, Voice Your Choice. Remember, don't call us, because we will call you.
Now, the news of Michael Jordan's retirement hit kids at the Boys and Girls Club pretty hard today. They decided to do something about it, so they took to the streets.
Michael! 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 Michael!
Holding an impromptu retirement party, complete with balloons and well-wishes drawn out on the sidewalks. He's been a big supporter of theirs.
Yes. Time to take a break, and when we come back, Michael will be here to tell us if today's beautiful weather will spill into the weekend.
That'd be Mike Chalinas. And later, kids hold a sit-in at City Hall demanding an end to the Chicago school crisis. We will have the latest.
And a hushed courtroom in L.A. listens as Eric Menendez tells of his Beverly Hills nightmare.
Fox News Chicago, sponsored in part by Bob Evans Sausage.
If you're going to say Bob Evans the best tasting sausage around, you better be pretty darn sure it is. I'm sure all right, so I'll put my personal guarantee on it. Either you'll sit down to the best tasting sausage you could buy, with its lean cuts and special spices, or we'll give you your money back. Simple as that. The way I see it, if my name's on it, it better be the best. You tell them, Dan. Come on, let's eat.
Bob Evans, down on the farm.
If you want to be in a position of power, then get behind the wheel of a 1994 Grand Cherokee V8 with a powerful 220 horsepower engine, 6,500-pound towing capacity, standard driver's side airbag, and four-wheel anti-lock brakes. It lets you command power in any situation. The Jeep Grand Cherokee V8. The only thing more powerful is the savings.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
A terrifying mystery.
Get here! Call the house!
Kept secret over 40 years.
The size of that bite mark, I'd say this is no animal.
But this Friday,
You know it's out there.
it won't be a secret anymore.
Can you see it?
Friday at 8 on Fox Chicago. Last night, we told you Jordan might retire. This morning, we stayed on the story. For all the details, stay with Fox News Chicago, morning and night. And now, news around the world.
Word from the White House tonight, President Clinton may be sending 2,000 more troops to Somalia. The deployment, including these planes carrying fresh troops that shipped out today from Massachusetts, would nearly double the number of U.S. forces in the African nation. The soldiers would help protect those already on the ground as they wait for a final withdrawal. The buildup is reportedly part of the president's new strategy for Somalia.
We are anxious to conclude our role there honorably, but we do not want to see a reversion to the absolute chaos and the terrible misery which existed before.
President Clinton plans to announce his new Somalia strategy tomorrow after meeting with congressional leaders.
Some 60 American soldiers wounded in Somalia are in Germany tonight, now being treated at a hospital near the Ramstein Air Force Base. Most of the wounded have gunshot and shrapnel wounds in the legs, arms, and hands. 2 of them are in serious condition. In Moscow, Russian President Boris Yeltsin calls for opponents in the regional legislatures to resign. That comes after Yeltsin crushed a bloody rebellion against his leadership. This is what it looks like inside the Russian White House right now, while outside the Parliament building, a heavy military presence remains intact. And in Cairo, Egypt, PLO chief Yasser Arafat and Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin meet for the first time officially. They have set up 4 teams to work out the details of limited Palestinian self-rule. Both men say the 90-minute session produced very good results toward ushering in a peace accord.
A new clue tonight in the mail bomb case that killed 1 person and injured dozens of others. Federal authorities met with the press in the nation's capital to disclose a note they believe was written by the mysterious Unabomber. He allegedly sent explosives through the mail, including 3 here in Chicago. Officials did not give details about where or how that note was found, but they are asking for help from the public.
Accordingly, today, the FBI, the Postal Inspection Service, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are announcing a reward of up to $1 million, leading to the arrest and conviction of the Unabomber.
The feds think the Unabomber is a white male in his late 40s or early 50s who has training in explosives, electronics, and woodworking.
And still another day today of grilling on the witness stand as prosecutors try to discredit Eric Menendez in an L.A. courtroom. He and his brother Lyle are accused of shooting their parents to death in their Beverly Hills mansion. The prosecutors are trying to prove that the brothers did it to inherit the family fortune. Eric is saying it stemmed from childhood abuse.
Was anyone in the room?
Yes.
No.
In fact, the only person that could deny or contest your claim is your father, correct?
My father and my mother.
And both of them are dead, correct?
Yes.
Cross-examination in the case was cut short today because prosecutors seem to be coming down with the flu. It will resume tomorrow.
One of America's most famous fugitives will not be able to cash in on her run from the law. Anti-Vietnam War radical Catherine Ann Power will serve 8 to 12 years in jail for her part in a 1970 bank robbery. Power drove the getaway car in the heist during which a police officer was killed in Boston. As part of her sentence, the judge also barred her from profiting on books or movies about her story.
23 years ago, I undertook a course of action that resulted in the death of another human being. I cannot possibly say in words how sorry I am.
For most of her years on the run, Power lived under a new identity in a small town in Oregon. She turned herself in just last month.
Coming up in a minute, one of the country's hottest country stars.
Amy Scott meets Garth Brooks and finds out why he's in Chicago tonight. And later, more on Michael Jordan's decision to retire.
It's Kenmore Days at Sears Brand Central. Save $180 on this 21 cubic foot Kenmore refrigerator, only $699.99. And save $220 on this 24 cubic foot side-by-side, only $1179.99. Now at Sears Brand Central.
Now is the time to remodel with the bold look of Kohler. While interest rates have fallen to record lows, interest in kitchen and bath design has reached record highs. Visit your Kohler registered showroom. From sinks and faucets to showers and whirlpools, you can count on Kohler plumbing products to be right for you and right for your home. So invest in the best, Chicago. See the yellow pages for your nearest Kohler registered showroom or call 1-800-4KOHLER. Remodel America with Kohler.
Where's the right place to buy a new truck? The Truck Authority, your local Ford dealer. Now get great savings on all 94 trucks. Save $1,200 on Ford F-150 now with a standard airbag. Save $1,800 on Ranger, the #1 selling compact pickup. Or $1,900 on America's favorite sport utility, Ford Explorer. Plus save on a '93 Aerostar with 3-9 financing or $1,000 cash back. All before you make your best deal. See your local Ford dealer now.
Ford is the Truck Authority.
Where can you find an assortment of luxurious Waverly 250 thread sheet sets for only $19.99 twin? Where else but Linens and Things October Savings Fest.
And now, the weather outside with Mike Chalinas.
Well, a beautiful Indian summer-like day here in Chicago this afternoon transformed into a gorgeous evening with lots of twinkling stars outside right now. As we check in with our current conditions, here's the way it looks. Clear skies, twinkling stars, and winds out of the southwest at 15 miles an hour, humidity at 59%, so the air is pretty dry right now. Pressure steady. Temperatures all at this time of the night and at this time of the year very nicely put in the low 70s. An afternoon high of 78 degrees here this afternoon and a morning low of 44 degrees. Satellite photo shows lots of clear skies across our area. That's the way it was this afternoon, but boy, did we have a lot of strong wind, and it was all coming out of the southwest at anywhere from 15 to 30 miles an hour. The reason for this is this huge frontal system off to the north and west of us. This is not going to affect us for tonight, nor will it tomorrow. But by Friday, this is really going to bring a huge change, unfortunately, to our weather. And it's not a very good change. Tomorrow starts off nice, though, ahead of this front. Lots of sunshine, and temperature's not bad for this time of the year. 58 in Zion, 57 at Alsip, 57 degrees in Norridge, and 59 degrees in Gary. Tomorrow afternoon, once again, out ahead of this frontal system, lots of sunshine with warm southwesterly winds at anywhere from 15 to 20 miles an hour once again. But behind this front, the weather does not look good at all. Temperatures out ahead of this front in the 70s and low 80s across our area for tomorrow. But take a look now as the temperatures stack off to the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, all the way up into places like Minnesota and the Dakotas. The weather's not going to be that cold here this weekend, but it will drop off to the mid-50s by Sunday. Here is your Fox forecast. Clear and mild, gorgeous tonight, 57 degrees for the overnight low. Then for tomorrow, lots of sunshine, warmer, 81 degrees optimistically speaking for the afternoon high. Then for tomorrow night, nice early, then clouding up late as that frontal system heads our way with a chance of showers by looks like Friday morning. Temperatures dropping off into the upper 50s, and then for Friday, a complete washout. Cloudy skies, showers and thunderstorms, 70 degrees for the afternoon high. Here is your 5-day outlook, and boy, we got a nice little cooling trend going on here. Temperatures dropping off into the upper 50s by Sunday and Monday. Lots of sunshine by then. I would never tell you to call in sick, but here's my message for you tomorrow. Walter, Robin?
Of course, that would be like some people's regular day off on a Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. We'll see you tomorrow, Mike.
Coming up here in just a minute, a woman stalking David Letterman.
She crashes his new show, refuses to leave unless Dave does something special for her. We'll tell you just what she wanted.
Well, there you have it. Michael Jordan's not the only big name making news tonight. Garth Brooks opens a 4-night stand here at the Rosemont Horizon. You know, I wonder if he still has friends in low places. We're going to find out and tell you coming up on Fox News.
People around Flat Rock, Michigan have their own way of conserving energy. They build the Mazda 626, and they build it so it gets the best mileage in its class.
So what do they do in your town?
People around Flat Rock, Michigan feel more secure driving the Mazda 626. They make them themselves, so they put dual airbags in every one of theirs. And every one of yours, too.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex. Killing those grungy fungi before they get racket and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
Dieters have different needs, so Accutrim made different formulas.
My appetite was humongous before Accutrim Maximum Strength.
I would lose my willpower after 3 p.m. until late day.
If it weren't for 16 Hour, I'd eat all day and all night.
Accutrim, one is right for you.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer for The Money Store. Even if your credit is less than perfect, you can still refinance your first mortgage at today's low fixed rates. That's because The Money Store looks at your total credit picture and won't automatically disqualify you for late payments. At The Money Store, you can apply by phone, and there's no application fee. So if you want to refinance at today's low rates, even if your credit isn't perfect, call 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Thunder rolls, the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night as the storm.
He is the king of contemporary country music, and he's proven it again in Chicago by selling out 4 consecutive nights at the huge Rosemont Horizon. Singer Garth Brooks opens there tonight, and Fox Entertainment reporter Amy Scott caught up with him earlier. Amy, did you get serenaded?
Oh, I wish I would have. I wish I would have. I love it. The king is right. I heard scalpers were getting up to $200 for front seats for tonight's show. Garth Brooks has done for the Western dress shirt industry what Michael Jordan did for Nike. And speaking of Jordan, even Garth is talking about him.
It's funny that hardly do you ever meet anybody that has great success and just low lows, but usually the people that have great success usually have real low lows for some reason, the full spectrum. So he's went through a whole range of emotions. As long as Michael is happy, then I'm happy for him.
The thunder rolls, the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes.
It says 17, but she paid 55.
It's worth it.
You think so?
It's worth it.
I can't think of any show really other than, you know, probably the ones that are my heroes that I would think of ever even thinking about spending that much money. My suggestion is wait for tomorrow night's show or Saturday night or Friday night. Or the coolest thing is always just wait for the first note to hit and all of a sudden the price starts dropping like a rock.
And the thunder rolls.
What do you think of Garth Brooks' new look?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's skinny. I love it. Great.
Yeah?
We love him.
He's hot, isn't he?
He is hot.
He looks like Kevin Costner, right?
Oh, yeah.
The new hairstyle isn't simply just anything but just when I was off for 6 months, I'm very regretful to say I did the national anthem in front of a nation and a world with long hair and a beard and about 235 pounds, so didn't really care for how I looked.
And the lightning strikes.
What other songs did Garth Brooks do? What other songs did Garth Brooks make famous?
Ooh, somewhere over the rainbow.
No, that was Judy Garland. She's confused.
Papa love mama, mama love man. Well, mama's in the graveyard, papa's in the pen.
Oh, I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away, and I'll be okay. Garth, do you still have friends in low places?
No, yes, and I must admit, with a life like this, I have a dear friend in a very high place, too.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good looks, great talent, and such sincerity. Now, well, no wonder he's such a big success in country music, right? The new album is called In Pieces. He does look like Kevin Costner, doesn't he? He even said they think so in Hollywood, too, by the way. They've already approached him about playing Kevin Costner's brother in a future movie. Walter?
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, Garth Brooks.
The Late Show host David Letterman has another wacko, you might say, on his hands tonight. He's got a new show on CBS, but the same old problem for David. Police say that a woman from Detroit drove all the way to New York to try to sneak onto the Late Show set. When she got caught, she refused to leave until David married her. She was taken to a mental hospital.
Where she's getting proposals, I'm sure, even as we speak. There's more news ahead, including the latest on efforts to break the Chicago school deadlock.
And in perspective tonight, the magic of the man, Michael Jordan.
Jordan. Michael, 17 for him after the emphatic slam.
Illinois Bell is ringing in a brand new identity. Now you can call us Ameritech.
How'd they get this number?
Ameritech, more than ever, your link to a better life. Now the phone company that you've always depended on is changing to keep up with the class of 2000, well into the future. Illinois Bell will be known as...
All aboard.
Ameritech, more than ever, your link to a better life.
The 93 countdown is on at your GMC truck dealers. Time to count our 1993 inventory down to 0. We're dealing on every 93 Sierra and every Jimmy in stock to move them out before the 94s arrive. So see your Chicagoland and Northern Indiana GMC truck dealers now.
Thursday, Sinbad's on the trail of a thief.
Where's my snorkel and fins and my Soul Train blooper tape?
Is it LJ?
You can't hang out in prison with guys like names like Mad Dog. Your nickname be Snorkel.
Clarence?
Search me. Not even with your daddy's hand.
Or Zana? The Sinbad Show.
Dang, she's good.
Thursday at 7:30 on Fox Chicago. Last night, we told you Jordan might retire. This morning, we stayed on the story. For all the details, stay with Fox News Chicago, morning and night.
With the clock ticking, Chicago teacher contract talks remain at an impasse after day-long talks in the mayor's office. The day began with a City Hall protest and sit-in by students from Lakeview High School. Students say they are losing extracurricular credit because of longer classes. Also, the teachers' union flatly rejected a board request to send contract talks to an outside arbitrator.
Progress again today, as I told you when I first came in this morning. If we should leave here without a contract, that's not progress. There has been no progress. We put on the table, as you all are aware, a proposal for interest-binding arbitration, and that has been rejected.
Both sides return to contract talks tomorrow morning. They have until midnight Friday to reach a new contract or face yet another school shutdown. And now, more on our top story. Michael Jordan. Not in a long time in Chicago has there been so much reaction to any story in the news. Everybody, it seems, has one, including, of course, Walter in Perspective.
I sure do have a reaction, Robin. I had one right away, a big, bad one, which was, oh, my God. No, Michael, how can you do it? You can't do it. You owe it to me to try for the quad squad, you know, the four-peat. After all the times I've watched and cheered and cried and hoped and prayed and got you through three-peat, now you want to quit before the four-peat? Come on, Michael, you can't be that selfish. That was my first reaction when I heard about it last night during the news right here at about 9:45. The first reports on the wire service about a rumor you were quitting. It made me pretty angry. Then the scheduling of the news conference last night and all the speculation overnight. Until finally this morning, you actually did it, with everybody watching, all the TV stations, live. You smiled, and you were so eloquent, so straightforward and open with your heart, for almost an hour in front of everybody. Remember what you said about sports in Chicago, and how we always have to say, wait till next year?
And it gives me great gratification that during the time that I play the game of basketball here in the city of Chicago, they don't have to say that anymore. You know, they got bragging rights all over the country. For many years, it's been known as a gangster town. Now it can be known as a championship town.
That's what got me, Michael, how you changed Chicago from Al Capone to Michael Jordan. Nobody's ever done that before, been able to wipe the gangster image off Chicago. Nobody's ever put a beautiful, gentle breeze into the windy city the way you have. So you can do whatever you want to do, Michael Jordan. You don't owe us any more. We owe it to you, Michael, to understand what you want and who you are. 30 years old, you're a very young man, but you've done such a mature man's job. I hope you have an idea tonight, Michael, how proud your dad would be.
And sports is next. Bruce will be here with yet more on Michael Jordan, including that hint, that glimmer. Is there a chance he might come back one day? And with all the hype surrounding Michael's retirement, we should not forget the Sox had a playoff game today. We may want to forget, though. Bruce will have the highlights after a break.
From the day we first opened our doors, we've made it our business to save you money.
Now it's Walmart's 31st anniversary.
And everybody who's been here
Right from the start.
And those of us just starting
are celebrating all month long with 31 days of anniversary savings at Walmart. From the very first day to the start of each new day, we put you first.
And that's why you save. Savings right from the start.
Walmart, always the low price, always.
The ultimate Halloween experience is at Six Flags Great America.
Fright Fest! It's haunting good fun for everyone. See the Mausoleum of Terror, graveyards, zombies, the spooky show Love at First Fright, Ride the Devilish Demon, Blue Line Railroad, and Cruise Blood River. It's Great America, transformed for Halloween family fun, plus Batman the Ride. Experience Fright Fest this Saturday and Sunday at Six Flags Great America.
So much fun, it's scary.
Jim Norman has gone through a lot of changes over the last 20 years, but one thing hasn't changed. He still gets his brakes fixed at CarX.
Hey, when you find something good, stick with it.
At CarX, we show you what's wrong, and we show you what's right. We only fix what needs fixing. So for brake repairs, go where people say,
I'd go back. I'd go back. We'd go back to CarX.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom. Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Bruce Wolf Sports, brought to you by CarX Muffler and Brakes for exhaust, brakes, and shocks. Don't worry, call the CarX man.
And now, the Sports Edge with Bruce Wolf.
Bo Jackson sits on the bench and stews because he's not brought in with 2 out in the ninth to pinch hit. Instead, Joey Cora, whom Gene Lamont figured to have a better chance to get on base to set up Frank Thomas, pops out to end the game and the year at Comiskey. More on the White Sox in just a bit. But first, it was a warm, sunny day, not unlike today, back in June when we celebrated the Bulls three-peat in Grant Park. And now all we have are memories like that rushing in. But wait a minute here, though Michael Jordan did announce his retirement today, he did leave himself an avenue of escape. He could come back someday.
Will I ever unretire? I don't know. You know, I think the word retire means you can do anything you want from this day on. So if I desire to come back and play again, maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe that's the challenge that I may need someday down the road. I'm not going to close that door.
1 year. Poor White Sox. Their very first game in the new Comiskey a couple of years ago was overwhelmed by the Great Flood in Chicago. Last night, their first playoff game in 10 years was overshadowed by the Michael Jordan story, but maybe just as well. Sox lost that first Comiskey game 16-0 to the Tigers, you recall, and now they're just about out of the American League playoffs. Game 2, Sox and the Jays this afternoon at Comiskey Park in the first inning. Sox trailing 1-0. Dave Stewart had walked the bases loaded before unloading a wild pitch. Tim Raines scored the Sox only run of the game. The Sox defense allowed 2 unearned runs to score, 1 on Pat Border's grounder to Joey Cora, who threw the ball away. Tony Fernandez scored, and it was 3-1 Toronto. And then in the 6th inning, the Sox loaded the bases with no one out, but Dave Stewart gets out of the jam by getting Warren Newsom to hit the comebacker. The Sox left 23 runners stranded in the 2 games. They're down 2-0 in the best-of-7 series. What's worse, they failed to win in front of their home fans.
We don't care about the fans. You know, we care, but, you know, we want to win more than the fans want to. You know, I think that's our team. You know, that's
I know disappointed because the fans don't see us win, and we're disappointed because we should play better. We should have a better game than we do.
There's no way we can try to get 3-0 and try to come back and win a series. We got to win Game 3. And like I said, hopefully we can show to be the road team we've been all year.
We missed our opportunities. We had a chance to score some runs. If we didn't, it's just part of the game.
We should have won the game. We had chances to score and gave them a couple runs. Of course, the only run we did score was on a wild pitch, so we didn't necessarily beat the ball around either.
The White Sox now head to Toronto, and our own Rick Leventhal is there to greet them. Rick.
Well, this is a town with no doubts and tons of confidence. After all, the Toronto Blue Jays are the defending world champs, and now that they're up 2-0, the fans here are already looking forward to the World Series. This afternoon, we caught up with some fans inside the Sky Dome, watching the game on big screen televisions inside the Toronto Hard Rock Cafe, but this crowd was a little too tame for us, so we moved on to Don Cherry's Sports Bar, which is just down the street, and we found a room full of screaming idiots. I mean, a room full of screaming Blue Jays fans, and here was their reaction when the Jays won Game 2.
I think Chicago's got the pitching, but I think the Blue Jays have the experience.
All the way, let's kick bottom. Yeah.
Well, it's not confident, it's real. It's the way it is.
We ain't going back to Chicago.
You're not a Sox fan, are you?
No, we were throughout the fun. We ain't going back to Chicago.
Pretty confident.
You bet. I'm already planning my schedule for the World Series.
Oh, this is going to Chicago?
So they're already talking sweep here in this city that is affectionately known by locals as the Big Smoke. And tonight they are smoking the White Sox pretty good. Of course, we will be here tomorrow when the White Sox are scheduled to arrive, and we will try to make them feel a little bit better and a little more at home here in Toronto. Now back to you in Chicago.
All right, Rick, and I'll be joining you tomorrow in Toronto for a couple of days, I think. All right, well, if you were going to do anything the least bit controversial, today was the day to do it. We'd hardly notice. On just about any other day, the Cubs firing their manager would be the top story. Today, it finishes in 3rd place, 1 place ahead of where the Cubs ended up in the standings. General Manager Larry Himes today fired manager Jim Lefebvre after 2 seasons. The Cubs finished strong this year, ended up with only their 3rd winning record since 1972, but that wasn't enough to save Lefebvre.
Conversations over the last probably 10 days, and we talked a lot during the season, and just came down to what I felt that we needed to do to go forward. In some cases it isn't the most popular decision, but it's a decision I think is the right decision for us.
On just about any other day, the opening of the Blackhawks season would be our top story, but today it finishes 4th, which is a lot higher than the Hawks finished in their race for the Stanley Cup last year, so don't complain. Here's Lloyd with the highlights.
All right, and the puck around to the point now, over to Chelios. Chelios with a wrist shot, and it's off to the goal! The Hawks have tied this game. Well, they should. They're playing the Florida Panthers, a new expansion team. What's wrong with you guys? All right, now here's Chelios, over to Murphy. Now back to Chelios. Chelios with a slap shot, and goal! 2-0 Blackhawks, and the score is 2-1. Hawks lead right now at the end of 2 periods. Walter and Robin.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
And Lloyd, too.
Okay. Coming up here in just a minute, the city of Chicago and the Bull teams learn they have to go on without Michael Jordan.
We'll take a final look back at the ups and downs of Michael Jordan's career. Stay with us.
I could really use a vacation. That picks me up and takes me to exciting new worlds. I could really use a vacation.
Where I live life instead of just reading about it.
Discover the continent of Puerto Rico. Only a continent could offer so many great vacation experiences. Only Puerto Rico puts it all within your reach.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me. Nobody does it like you, puts it all together better to make it easy. Nobody does it like you, Hoover. Nobody does it like you.
Ameritech offers 2 ways to call from anywhere to anywhere.
Good night.
At any time. The Ameritech calling card and Complete MasterCard. The cards you can always call on. Ameritech, your link to a better life.
I'm still in love with the game, but at some point in time, everyone has to make a decision to move forward away from games.
Once talking about his son's really amazing career, James Jordan said it's almost like God's calling the shots, like God is saying, I'm going to let Michael do this.
Of course, Michael Jordan has been blessed in many ways, but he's also paid a high price for his success. Ann Cavanaugh has that story.
Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above.
9 years ago, who would have ever guessed the triumph and tragedy that would come Michael Jordan's way? Certainly not the self-proclaimed country boy from North Carolina. In 1984, Jordan came flying into Chicago with a full head of hair and his tongue hanging out. We fell in love with him, and so did the world. In his first 7 years, he dazzled us with his amazing skills and turned the Bulls into champions.
The Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
Holding you, I held everything for a moment. Wasn't I king?
More than 21,000 career points, 3 consecutive NBA championships, 3 MVP awards, 2 Olympic gold medals, and more money than anybody could imagine. But being king was hard, both on and off the court.
It's a lot of family members and friends that I haven't seen because I've been very selfish in my career.
But if I'd only known how the king would fall, and who's to say, you know, I might have changed it all.
Controversy over his gambling and some of his friends. A once adoring media that started to nitpick. Fame that grew stifling rather than fun. And finally, the senseless murder of his father.
I guess the biggest positive thing that I can take out of my father not being here with me today is that he saw my last basketball game. And that means a lot.
And what a last game it was. Michael Jordan took us all to the dance, and we will never forget. Now at age 30, he says it's time to get off the roller coaster and reclaim his life.
This is my choice, and I've always wanted to make it my choice. And it's a choice that I chose to live with.
I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the
Ann Cavanaugh, Fox News, Chicago.
I think we should cheer up around here. He's still around. He's just not playing basketball professionally. I'm sure he's playing basketball pickup games.
Well, he says he's going to be playing scrap games.
Which he's done all along anyway.
Right. For the latest news, watch Good Day Chicago starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And we'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9. We leave you with more Michael, of course. Good night.
Baby, you're my shining star. Good is just who you are. Baby, you're my shining star.
This place fries. This place butters. This place bastes.
This place loves football.
Popeyes. The way this place cooks is simply unbeatable.
This place is all American.
And here's another winner. Popeyes Tailgate Pack. 11 pieces, spicy or mildly seasoned, a 16-ounce side order, and biscuits. All just $10.99.
The elite of chicken.
Popeyes.
I am a great woman, and this place cooks.
For football fans.
Eat Popeyes.
For the price of basic transportation, the Mitsubishi Eclipse will take you way beyond basic. And now, when you purchase any new 93 Eclipse, you'll drive away with $1,000 factory cash back. The Eclipse from Mitsubishi.
Escape basic transportation. Test drive an Eclipse at your neighborhood Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
thrilling proposal heads for New Orleans. A hard-fought contract is Chicago-bound. 3 sets of contact lenses are expected in Tampa by tomorrow morning. Express mail from the Postal Service will get them there, overnight, guaranteed, from just $9.95. Every day, overnight, we deliver for you.
In Hong Kong, they say spirits inhabit the earth, air, and sea. It is considered bad jas, bad luck, to anger the spirits. So building a treatment center to keep hazardous waste from entering the waters of Victoria Harbor isn't just sound environmental thinking. It could also be very good jas. What business do we have saying we help the environment? That is our business.
Friday, Briscoe and Bowler take on a band of High Plains pirates.
Aye.
Gesundheit.
Friday at 7 on Fox Chicago.
Glad you're here. Glad I got a camera. A lot of you have heard me talking back and forth to Archie Harn, our sound